I have exactly 30 days to run the most powerful country on earth, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. That's not a joke. That's day one of my life as President of the United States. No campaign, no election, no experience. One morning, I'm just in charge. Nuclear codes, a cabinet full of people twice my age, and a country of 330 million people who all expect me to have answers. So let's see how badly this goes. Day one starts before sunrise. Someone hands me a folder labeled Daily Briefing, and it's thicker than a phone book. Wars, markets, threats, 3 different crises happening at once, and I haven't even had coffee yet. I ask the most obvious question I can think of. Where's the bathroom in this place? Turns out the White House has 35 of them. I get lost twice before lunch in my own house. By day 2, reality really sinks in. Every single person I meet, from the chef to the head of the military, already has an opinion about who I am before I've even said a word. There's no honeymoon period here. From the moment I sit down at that desk, people are judging every move. By day 3, I've learned the first real rule of the presidency. Everyone wants 5 minutes of your time, and there are never enough minutes. Advisors are lined up outside my office like it's a doctor's waiting room. Everyone thinks their problem is the most urgent problem in the country. Spoiler, they can't all be right. Day 5, I sit through my first classified briefing on national security, and I realize something terrifying. The version of the world you see on the news is the friendly version. The real version, the one behind closed doors, is a lot messier. I can't tell you what I heard in that room. I probably shouldn't even be telling you I was in that room. Day 7, my first real test. A foreign leader calls, and it's not a friendly call. One wrong word on this phone line and it's international news by dinner. My hands are actually shaking. Nobody warns you that the most stressful part of the job isn't the big speeches. It's a 15-minute phone call that could go sideways in a single sentence. By day 9, I think I'm getting the hang of this. I run a cabinet meeting, I make a decision on infrastructure spending. People actually listen to me. For about 6 hours, I feel like I might actually survive this month. Then day 10 happens, and I get proven wrong immediately, because that's apparently how this job works. Something goes wrong that nobody could have predicted, and suddenly I'm being pulled into an emergency situation room at 2 in the morning, in my pajamas, trying to sound like a leader while I'm half asleep. Here's the thing, nobody tells you about being president. You don't get to be tired. You don't get to say, can we handle this tomorrow? The country doesn't pause because you didn't sleep. Day 12, I sit down with the press for the first time, and this is where I learn that reporters ask questions like they're trying to catch you in a trap, because honestly, sometimes they are. One wrong answer becomes a headline. I say something slightly clumsy about the economy, and by the next morning, it's been clipped, shared, and turned into a meme. Welcome to modern politics, I guess. Day 14, I finally get a moment that feels almost normal. A quiet dinner, no cameras, just me and a few advisors talking honestly about what's working and what isn't. It lasts maybe an hour before another phone call cuts it short, but that hour reminds me there's still a human being under all this pressure. By day 15, halfway through this, I'm exhausted in a way I didn't know was possible. Not physically tired, decision fatigue tired. I've made more choices in 2 weeks than most people make in 2 years, and every single one of them affects real people. That weight doesn't go away when the day ends. It follows you to bed. Day 18, something actually goes right. A policy I pushed for gets approved. And for the first time this whole video, I get to see the upside of this job. This is the part nobody shows you. The quiet win that never makes the news, but genuinely changes something for people who needed it. It's a small moment, but it's the first time this entire experience feels worth it. Day 20. I get pulled into a negotiation that could either end a conflict or make it worse, and I'm the one who has to decide which words to say in that room. This is the moment I finally understand the actual job description of a president. It's not giving speeches, it's not signing papers for the cameras, it's being the last person in the room when nobody else wants to make the call. And speaking of making calls, if this is keeping you hooked, now's a good time to hit subscribe and drop a like, because it genuinely helps this channel keep making these. And trust me, day 30 gets wild. Day 22, a scandal breaks. Doesn't even matter what it's about, because that's the point. Something always breaks. My team is scrambling, the press is circling, and I have to decide in real time whether to address it head on or let it die down. I choose to address it, Because hiding from a problem when the whole country's watching never actually works. Day 24, I sit down with economic advisors who throw numbers at me that would make anyone's head spin. Billions here, trillions there, and every decimal point represents actual jobs, actual families. I start to understand why presidents age so fast in office. It's not the schedule. It's carrying numbers like these in your head every single day. Day 25, I visit troops stationed overseas, and this is the moment that actually gets to me. Forget the meetings, forget the negotiations, standing in front of people who put their lives on the line because of decisions made in that same office I've been sitting in for the last 3.5 weeks, that hits different. This job isn't abstract. Every decision has a face attached to it somewhere. Day 27, the economy takes an unexpected hit, and I have to give an address to calm an entire nation that's watching their savings shrink in real time. My voice doesn't shake this time. Somewhere between day 1 and day 27, I stopped being terrified and started being the guy in charge, even if I still don't fully believe it myself. Day 29, one final crisis. Because of course there's one final crisis, this job apparently doesn't believe in slow endings. A decision lands on my desk that could define how this whole month is remembered. I make the call. I don't know yet if it's the right one, but I make it because at some point in this job, indecision is worse than a wrong decision. Day 30, my last morning in that office. I walk through the halls one more time, past the same 35 bathrooms I couldn't find a month ago, past the briefing room that used to terrify me, and I realize something. I came into this thinking the presidency was about power. It's not. It's about weight. The weight of every choice landing on one person over and over for 30 straight days with no days off and no do-overs. I don't know if I was a good president. I know I survived it, and by the end, that alone felt like a win. Some jobs you clock out of. This one follows you home every single night. 30 days is the most powerful person in the country, and I've never been more relieved to hand something back. If you want to see what the next 30 days looks like in someone else's shoes, you already know what to do. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.